celebration as the government at the center turns 3 years, and Prime Minister Modi is in Guwahati today in Assam to take part in various programs. There will be public engagements as well. He is inaugurating the country's longest river bridge too, a bridge which is the Dhola Sadiya Bridge in Tinsukia district. This will be at about a couple of minutes from now. As you can see, the Prime Minister's convoy is already there. The bridge, which is a 9.15-kilometer long bridge built over the Brahmaputra river, is expected to reduce travel time between the states of Assam and Arunachal Pradesh, believe it or not, by at least 4 hours. The Prime Minister is also expected to lay the foundation stones of the Indian Agriculture Research Institute in Assam itself, and also will be laying the foundation stone for the All India Institute of Medical Sciences, or AIIMS, at a stadium in Guwahati. So 3 major projects the Prime Minister will inaugurate today as he marks 3 years of celebrations, completion of the NDA government. Let's get you further details on what all is expected. Let's go across to my colleague Gauri, joining us live from the newsroom. Gauri, it's a big day there for the Bharatiya Janata Party. The Prime Minister is in Guwahati. He's going to be launching projects today as the NDA marks 3 years of completion of being in power.
Yes, that is correct. In fact, Akshay, on your screens, of course, are visuals of Prime Minister Modi in Dibrugarh. Yes, the first and the biggest announcement will be, of course, unveiling of that over 9-kilometer bridge that has been in the making, in construction since 1999. And in fact, it was announced by NDA 1 under Prime Minister Vajpayee. Now that, of course, will be the biggest announcement coming out of Assam today, India's longest bridge that will be inaugurated by Prime Minister Modi today, over 9 kilometers, as I said. Beyond that, yes, there will also be the announcement of setting up of a new AIIMS and a couple of other development schemes. Of course, Prime Minister Modi will use this opportunity to also talk about being 3 years under his tenure, which of course is today, and we can expect maybe some more announcements, some more schemes being announced by the Prime Minister today.
Yes, and this, of course, Gauri, is the first leg of Prime Minister kick-starting the celebrations that the BJP is having all across 900 cities. And these celebrations will continue for the next 15-20 days. I believe till about mid-June is when the celebrations shall continue. The Prime Minister starting this in Assam today also sends out a very strong signal. The BJP NDA completing 3 years, the Assam government also completing a year, the BJP government over there, and the Prime Minister chooses the Northeast.
And rightfully so, Akshay, because, you know, if you look at it, outreach for Northeast has really been one of the key highlights of Prime Minister Modi, as well as BJP President Amit Shah's tenure. Who would have thought that BJP would have actually formed governments in 3 Northeast states and looking to strike gold in Tripura next? That was actually unheard of and unthinkable for the BJP 3 years back, 4 years back. But that happened, which is why, of course, positioning makes a lot of difference. Timing and positioning is all that matters in politics, which is why, of course, the timing is today. Inauguration of that bridge happens today. A whole host of other schemes would also be announced today, with, of course, BJP and Prime Minister looking to strike gold in Tripura, and, of course, looking to also send out a very strong message to China from Northeast.
That's right. Let's focus a little more, Gauri, on this particular bridge, because it's quite a feat that the establishment has conquered. I mean, we're talking about a bridge which is almost 10 kilometers long. It's a bridge built over Brahmaputra River in Tinsukia district. Tell us a little more about the travel time between 2 states, how much has gone into it, and how this will also be used, if need be, to beef up security at the borders.
It will in fact reduce the travel time between Assam and Arunachal Pradesh by at least 4 hours. So look at the feat that has really been achieved by the government under Highways Ministry, Nitin Gadkari, which is why, of course, Nitin Gadkari was very much at the receiving the Prime Minister in the visuals that were being shown right now on our television screens. Nitin Gadkari, of course, is known to be one of the star achievers in Prime Minister Modi's cabinet. He has, of course, had one of the most stellar records in the last 3 years. He's aiming to get over 40 kilometers per day of roads being constructed. And this bridge, of course, will be one of the, feathers in his cap. As I mentioned, it will reduce the travel time between Assam and Arunachal Pradesh by at least 4 hours. And the over 9-kilometer bridge, of course, sends out a very strong message as far as development in the northeast is concerned.
Yes, and also one could think of it this way, Gauri, isn't it? That this is about development, this is about progress. The plank that the BJP actually came to power was about Vikas. Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas was about development. And today, as we speak, it's not just the inauguration of the bridge. Like you mentioned, we're also looking at AIMS. We're also looking at an agriculture institute. So it's all about development. It's all about progress. And that's the message that needs to really go out.
That is correct. In fact, Akshay, yes, development was the key plank and the electoral promise that got Prime Minister Modi in office 3 years back. He is, of course, looking to better that record further going forward, as there are several other assembly elections lined up. But as far as development schemes are concerned, as I mentioned, he will use this platform to talk about how some of his development schemes, like the Ujjwala scheme or the direct transfer scheme, direct benefit transfer scheme, the Mudra scheme, or even Swachh Bharat, has really changed the contours of India and changed the contours as far as lives of an ordinary average Indian is concerned. Prime Minister Modi is likely to use this platform to communicate that to the Indian voter.
In fact, Gauri, just stay with us. I want to quickly go over to the visuals. I want viewers to focus on what we are looking at. On your screens, any moment now, Prime Minister Modi is going to cut that ribbon, inaugurate this particular bridge, the 9.15-kilometer long bridge. This is the Tinsukia district there in Assam. It was at 9:45 a.m. in the morning when the Prime Minister was to inaugurate. And there you see it. He's just cut the ribbon. He has his ministers by his side. This is a major feat being conquered there by the government. Of course, Nitin Gadkari for urban development, also right there, the minister. This bridge, which is the Dhola Sadiya Bridge, the longest river bridge that India has seen, almost 10 kilometers, connecting states as well of Assam as well as Arunachal Pradesh. Like Gauri was pointing out, it reduces travel time by close to 4 hours. Incredible to see. And also this bridge can be used to beef security at the border if need be, can withstand the weight of tanks as well, weighing up to 60 ton, we believe. And the Prime Minister there, taking a view, the stock of the situation, the view from this wonderful bridge, a lot of green, a river next door, and there you can see him waving at the people who've gathered to take a glimpse of the Prime Minister there, quite happy, and also marking the celebration, the beginning of the NDA, completing its 3 years and now stepping into the very crucial 4th year of the Bharatiya Janata Party and the NDA government at the centre. Gauri, back to you as we continue to discuss over these visuals. The Prime Minister is in Assam, and how many days is he really there for, and what more to expect with this particular visit in Assam?
Of course, our development as far as Assam is concerned, but let me just point out something very, very important as far as this bridge is concerned, Akshay.
Yes,
as I mentioned, that it reduces the travel time between Assam and Arunachal Pradesh by at least 4 hours. It also means that there is no operational airport in Arunachal Pradesh. It will allow easy access as far as troops are concerned into Arunachal Pradesh. Look at its strategic importance from India's point of view as far as sending a message out to China is concerned, which of course has also been beefing up its overall infra presence in the entire area, which is why this bridge has strategic importance for India, allowing troops to access Arunachal Pradesh, which doesn't have an operational airport right now.
And this is the dream of the NDA one, like you were saying, under the leadership of Atal Bihari Vajpayee when the project had kick-started. It's 2017 now. It's almost taken 20 years for this to be completed. But nevertheless, we're looking at the Prime Minister, his convoy right there in front of us. They're driving past this particular bridge. The first drive really is of the Prime Minister's convoy on this much talked about a feat that has been conquered by the establishment with a bridge that is close to 10 kilometers long, built over the Brahmaputra river, reduces travel time like we've been discussing between the two states by at least 4 hours, strategically built as well like Gauri was pointing out. And on your screens, live visuals, they're coming to you right now. Prime Minister Modi, who just inaugurated the bridge about 2 minutes ago, and now he is taking that beautiful drive on this particular bridge there in Tinsukia district there of Assam, sending out a very strong message to the people, to neighboring countries as well, of what India can really do in terms of development, in terms of infrastructure. We are progressing like we haven't progressed in the past 10 years at least, many would say, in development of infrastructure and roads, like Gauri was pointing out. Gauri, if I can come back to you and talk about how this celebration over the next 15-20 days will be about emphasizing on Prime Minister Modi's vision, will be about all that the NDA has done in terms of development, the several schemes that the Prime Minister has launched. and it's been all about Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas.
Absolutely. Well, that is going to be the messaging that the party and the government would look to achieve, really. In 900 cities till the 15th of June. Look at the scale at which this messaging, these celebrations really would continue. It also means how focused BJP President Amit Shah really is, and how clear his objectives are going forward, that these celebrations, these messaging, of course, has to be used as far as future assembly elections are concerned. So yes, till 15th of June, from Prime Minister Modi to his Council of Ministers, to his key MPs, all the way to BJP workers, everybody, the entire machinery will be geared towards, of course, communicating the government's key initiatives. That, of course, includes, as I mentioned, Ujjwala, which has been a huge success in huge parts of rural India, semi-urban cities. Ujjwala has been a massive success, and a credit, of course, goes to Piyush Goyal for that. That will, of course, be one of the key schemes that will be highlighted by the party, by the government. Swachh Bharat, again, a key initiative, a flagship program, one may say, of the Modi government. And besides that, of course, also focus on key health schemes as well.
Right. Gauri, it is being said that the events in Guwahati are the first of the several 5 programs that the Prime Minister is expected to attend personally to lead as a part of the celebrations for completing 3 years in office and completing 3 years of the NDA government, stepping into the 4th. So Guwahati is the first leg. Are we aware of the other 4 or 5 programs the Prime Minister is now going to be leading from Assam?
Well, you know, there is, of course, the launch of the schemes that has, of course, been publicly communicated as far as Prime Minister Modi's schedule is concerned, which is, of course, as I mentioned, the Agricultural Institute, the setting package that may be announced. We remember last year, in 2015, there was a 15,000 crore rupee development package that was announced by Prime Minister Modi, and completion of this bridge is part of that development package. So who knows, there could be a separate development package that also might be announced by the Prime Minister, who, of course, will use today as an occasion to, of course, talk more about what lies ahead in terms of, as you pointed out, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. He has to better his government's achievements going forward. So he may, of course, be announcing more development schemes.
Yes, and also let's talk a little more in detail. Let's go beyond Assam and talk about what's going to be happening in the rest of the country till the 15th of June, 900 cities. And the high point of the celebrations will be these series of festivals like we were discussing earlier. And these festivals also very aptly termed as Modi Fest, isn't it, Gauri? Because it is making of developing India festivals. And the BJP has put an acronym to that, which is, of course, Modi, trying to push the name of the Prime Minister forward. Quite a tactic there by the BJP.
Yes, that is in fact correct. And Modi Fest actually stands, as you pointed out, that is an acronym. It stands for Making of Developing India Festivals. Yes. So yes, that's the acronym, Modi Festivals, yes. Rightfully pointed out. It will also be done both at the centre as well as the state levels. Remember, now most major state governments are being headed by the BJP, which means that in all the BJP-ruled states, the chief ministers will also be ensuring that their state capitals have a lot of celebrations that happen, again highlighting the kind of development schemes that have been undertaken by the Prime Minister in the last 3 years, besides, of course, the Karyakartas and the Council of Ministers.
Right. Gauri, thanks very much for joining us for a moment. But before we leave, I just want to take 15 more seconds and describe what we're looking at our screens. You will agree, Gauri, what beautiful visuals, what a scenic drive this would actually be for one to undertake there in Tinsukia district, this Dhola Sadiya Bridge there, 10-kilometer long stretch over the Brahmaputra river. And take a look at that. I mean, of course, the feed is slightly disturbed, but what a scenic, what a beautiful drive for people. And this will be such a feat to be on. Thanks very much, Gauri, for joining us for a moment. We're going to leave our viewers with these visuals. We'll be back with the top stories. This, of course, being the primary focus as the NDA starts its celebrations today. Thanks for watching.
Dedicate the starting of this celebration in Assam to launch India's longest bridge that the country is to have. It is located on the Lohit river, which is a tributary of the Brahmaputra, situated in Assam. As we give you those details, these are live shots here coming in, marking the inauguration of that bridge, which incidentally is also going to be the longest bridge that the country gets. It's the inauguration which comes on the occasion of the government completing 3 years in office. It is estimated to be costing 950 crore rupees. It is a 9.15 kilometer bridge in length and is 30% longer than the Bandra-Worli Sea Link, That's in fact a good comparison to bring in to analyze, to draw in an analogy of what could be really the longest bridge here in the country. Let's get in more details, the significance, the symbolism there also to mark the start of these celebrations in Assam, in the northeastern state of Assam as well, and a string of projects expected to be launched there through the day today. We have with us our news editor Gauri Dwivedi getting us further inputs here on this. Gauri, please go ahead.
The strategic importance of this bridge is actually very, very significant. First, of course, is that till now, crossing of the Brahmaputra, or actually, reaching Arunachal Pradesh from Assam could only be done by ferry during the day, and of course, most certainly was not possible during flood time. So that is a huge achievement by the Highways Ministry. But beyond that, as far as the strategic importance is concerned, it's 100 kilometers away from the China border, Anini. And more importantly, the bridge can actually take a load of 60 tons of a tank. So look at the strategic importance from India's point of view of this bridge. Of course, till now, there was no other way of reaching Arunachal Pradesh because it doesn't have a functional operational airport. So getting troops to Arunachal Pradesh of extreme importance as far as this bridge is concerned. And yes, one cannot miss the timing and the positioning. The Prime Minister Modi is inaugurating this bridge today on, of course, the third anniversary of his government, sending a message out to also the China and Chinese government, which of course has also been beefing up its infra presence in the Arunachal Pradesh region.
Absolutely. Well put across there, Gauri, on what this really means as far as military strategy could go as well in the years to come in deployment of military at Arunachal. More importantly, also comes in for much domestic use as well. This is clearly going to be a bridge that is being seen in connecting significant states in the northeast to each other, which has been difficult otherwise.
Yes, absolutely. The distance between Assam and Arunachal Pradesh, the connectivity actually reduces by at least 4 hours post this bridge. It has been in the making for a very long time. The cost has escalated quite significantly from 950 crores initial cost all the way to upwards of 2,000 crore rupees. It has, of course, met certain project delays as well. But that's quite natural. Look at the kind of feat that has really been achieved, that, now not only does it have a huge strategic importance, but also overall it means that during flood time as well, crossing of Brahmaputra is possible. There is a road connectivity, which of course was a huge challenge till now, given the topical and topography of the entire region. And of course, one cannot but miss the timing and positioning, as I mentioned, that, Prime Minister Modi will use this occasion to talk about the kind of development that already has happened in the last 1 year of the BJP government in Assam, and what lies ahead in the remaining 4 years, and more importantly, how the BJP, of course, looks to strike gold in Tripura, which is again a key state that will go to polls.
Okay, and what's the timeline of which that we're looking at? Part of it already having been constructed. What's the promise here? In how many months or a year perhaps would this be ready?
Well, this, of course, is a bridge that has been in the pipeline for a very long time. The foundation stone of this was laid in NDA-1. The construction began much later, only in 2009-2010 under UPA-2 is when the construction began. It was officially expected to be completed by 2015. But as I mentioned, projects of such size and scale are bound to meet some amount of delays. It happened by 2 years. But today, of course, is when it has been inaugurated. 9.15 kilometers is the bridge that, of course, will reduce the time that it will take to travel from Assam to Arunachal Pradesh by at least 4 hours, maybe up to 6 hours.
But hopefully, of course, we're not seeing a delay that the kind of time, the duration of time that the Bandra-Worli Sea Link had seen when you had a whole generation growing up waiting to see the inauguration of that sea link, and that happened at least close to 2 decades later.
Sahel, you cannot compare the two, and the reasons for that is that, the Bandra-Worli Sea Link was just about, decongesting Mumbai. But this, of course, has strategic importance. It means that development is reaching northeast under Prime Minister Modi's government. It also means that, as I mentioned, it sends a very strong message to China. 100 kilometers away from its border, the government, India has a huge road connectivity.
Please hold that thought, Gauri. Stay on with us. Getting in more views here, we have the BJP spokesperson, Mr. Jeeval Narasimha Rao, with us. Thanks for being with us, Mr. Jeeval. In your view, this, of course, being of strategic importance and also much symbolism that you would agree with that comes into play as well.
No, I wouldn't really call this symbolism because this is hardcore. This is a massive push to the infrastructure sector that has been given during the last 3 years of the governance at the center by Honorable Prime Minister. And particularly Northeastern sector has seen the kind of road network and highways being built that has never been the case in the past, because this region connectivity, road connectivity had always been a challenge in the northeastern region. And over the last 3 years, a massive push and thrust has been given to the development of roadways, railways, air connectivity in every possible manner to integrate the northeastern states much more with the rest of the country in a physical sense.
Please stay on with us. My colleague Gauri would also like to take a few questions. Gauri, please go ahead.
Right, JVL, this is Gauri Dwivedi also joining in. My question to you really is that, yes, one cannot miss the timing of the inauguration of the bridge. It happens today on the 3rd anniversary of the Modi government. Help us understand, what do you think lies ahead in terms of BJP's Northeast push? Can we expect more development schemes to be announced today by Prime Minister Modi, not just, of course, for Assam, but for entire Northeast?
No, I think this has been Northeastern. You see, Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Minister, from the first from the first month in office, he'd always been saying that the Eastern corridor, the states on the east, in the Eastern and Northeastern region, require a massive developmental push to reduce the imbalance in development with the rest of the country. So it's not just northeastern states, the entire eastern sectors have received massive push in not only in terms of developmental allocation, but also in terms of physical infrastructure, because physical infrastructure in northeastern region has really been neglected for decades. And as a result, there is also some amount of, I would say, of political alienation, because people felt that the kind of infrastructure development that ought to have happened did not happen. So under Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, northeastern states received massive push in development sector, in infrastructure sector, as I said, in all sectors, roads, railways, and airways as well.
Right. And GVL, when I asked you that the message being sent out in Prime Minister Modi choosing to make a start of these celebrations on this given date today with Guwahati in Assam there, of course, once again, as in your words only, sends out that message that it is the Prime Minister wanting to give enough importance to development projects, infrastructure projects in the Northeast.
No, the Prime Minister is hailed by the people of the country. This is not any attempt by BJP to project the Prime Minister. The people of the country see in Prime Minister Modi a Vikas Purush, a man who is wedded to development, who has been pushing development across all sectors, social sectors, physical sectors, infrastructure sectors. So certainly, I think today is a very fitting day for inauguration, because today happens to be the 3rd anniversary of Modi ji's government. Also, the Assam government, the BJP's first ever government in Assam, is also celebrating the 1st anniversary. And this only symbolizes, this only signifies the kind of priority and thrust and focus that the BJP gives to development, not just at the national level, but also in every state where we are in power. I have no doubt that the political journey of the BJP, the political momentum that BJP has gathered in Northeast, also owes a great deal to our developmental push and public appreciation of the BJP's central government's performance in giving key priorities to Northeast.
GVL, one cannot miss the strategic importance of this bridge. It is 100 kilometers away from the China border. The bridge has the capacity to be able to take a 60-ton tank. One cannot miss that as well. Are you also, is the government also looking to send out a strong message to China as well, which is beefing up infrastructure around along the Arunachal border as well? Is it sending out a message through this to China?
No, I don't. I think whatever maybe whatever China might fancy, we have our position had been very, very clear. Arunachal Pradesh is an integral part of India, and all the development that we are carrying out is to ensure faster economic growth for our own states in the northeastern region. I think it would be far-fetched to really think this is for being done to really send a message or to give a signal to anybody. We are signaling to people of our own country. We want people of Northeast to believe that they get the best of development that the country has ensured for rest of the country, and Northeastern region, being a little remote, will get all the attention it deserves, so that its integration is complete and it realizes its full economic potential.
As we speak to GVL there, very quickly for our viewers, these are latest images that we're playing out there. We have Prime Minister Modi's cavalcade there moving up to next of what's really lined up there, Gauri, through the day. This is just the first of the inauguration that we are seeing by Prime Minister Modi. Next in line, of course, is going to be a stopover at the Indian Agriculture Research Institute. Also the AIMS there in Guwahati there as well for the foundation laying stone of the AIMS, the first AIMS in Guwahati. All of that which is lined up through the day in Assam itself. Gauri.
Again, sending out a very strong message. Setting up of an AIMS in Assam also sends a very strong message, to the entire northeast region. As GVL was pointing out, development has sort of not reached the northeast region completely, the entire eastern corridor, and Prime Minister Modi is using this platform today to ensure and send out that message that development will reach out to the entire northeast region.
Let's see how the opposition parties are viewing this development. Gauri, stay on with us, please. We have with us from the Assam Congress, Mr. Purva Bhattacharya. Thanks for being with us. In your view, how would you see these developments? Can the Congress really deny that at the end of the day, this is really wanting to genuinely work for developing the northeastern states?
No, you see that, first of all, today we are very much happy that what we think yesterday, today it has come up for the people. And until unless the Congress was not planted the seed, how it became a plant? Yesterday we thought and we act, and today we got this longest bridge of the nation.
But just to correct you, sir, and correct me if I'm wrong here, that as far as planting the seed for this longest bridge over the Brahmaputra was something that was started in NDA 1. UPA 1, UPA 2 didn't do much about it through the past decade.
No, absolutely. It is manipulated information that during the tenure of Dr. Manmohan Singh and the Chief Minister, Tarun Gogoi, in the year of 2011, it was started. And yes, I do agree. Some people, as we have planted, now Modi is offering for the nation.
Okay, that of course. Okay, so effectively, incredibly, we have both the parties here to agree that both have, of course, worked. This is something that is being done for the people and wanting to give equal credit to either on who's in power and given position there to be completing this work. Mr. Purva Bhattacharya, in how many years do you think that this should ideally be ready for the people? A first of what is a lot of issues that is being marked here, a first of the AIMS in Guwahati as well, also laying of the foundation stone of the IARI, the Indian Agriculture Research Institute in Gokamukh there in Dhemaji district in Assam as well.
You see that one thing is that every project has some technical time is required. And before that requisite time, you cannot expect that it will come out.
Okay. But Mr. Bhattacharya, the symbolism of this, you have this being marked as the start of the Modi Fest. The Modi Fest, of course, just being an acronym, making of developed India. On this given date, in choosing that the first of the inauguration of the start of the marking of 3-year celebrations is going to be in Assam, in Guwahati there, one can really not deny the symbolism for the BJP to state that it is the one standalone national party which is earnestly wanting to work for the development of the Northeast and bring it at par with other sectors, other areas in the country.
No, if you think that everything is done by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, is it true? Can he and his government been able to complete a 9.15 kilometer bridge within 3 years? Definitely not. Yes, his government is getting the priority to offer the bridge to the nation. We have, until and unless during the tenure of Tarun Gogoi and Dr. Manmohan Ji, it was not started of the construction, then how it can complete? And then today, definitely, he is taking the political advantage. He is in the chair of the Prime Minister. And Mr. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is very much competent as the marketing manager. He knows the things, how to introduce among the common people, the people of Assam, the people of northeastern region. They are very much soft-hearted and they are very much kind-hearted. They may raise their voice against the center's allegation, but when the center has extended their hand, then simultaneously the people have forgotten their all grievances.
Mr. Bhattacharya, I appreciate you speaking to us on that. The Congress clearly stating that a major part of the work of this significant bridge, of course, having been done at a time that the Congress was in power, both in the center, in the state. It is just the inauguration which is being marked in grand terms by the BJP on this given day.
If Mr. Prime Minister...
Mr. Hussain, Editor-in-Chief of News 9 with us on the phone line as well. Mr. Hussain, thanks for being with us in this grand moment that is being marked in Assam. What are the expectations? What is it that you're getting from Guwahati?
See, let me first tell you that this is an architectural marvel, the longest river bridge in India, 9.15 kilometers. So there is no, I was just hearing Apurva Bhattacharya of the Congress trying to politicize, but there is no politics in it. Let me just be straight and frank. There are a lot of strategical, significance of this bridge. It's not just two states, Assam and Arunachal Pradesh, being linked by way of this river bridge. There are a lot of other significant aspects to it. It's close to the China border. Earlier, the army movement used to take about 3 to 4 to 5 hours to reach the border of the frontiers. Now it will take about 45 minutes to an hour to reach the borders. And this bridge...
Okay, we're going to be connecting with Zarir Hussain, Editor-in-Chief of News Live in just a bit. But interesting fact, of course, that came to light while speaking to him, that this is not the manner in which the people of Assam or Guwahati would choose to look at this, in not wanting to politicize on who really got the bridge ready, but eventually who it was who inaugurated the bridge on this given day today. The fact of the matter here being that this is going to come in of immense convenience to the people of Assam and the neighboring states, or neighboring northeastern states there as well. Of course, as we were saying, this is going to be the longest bridge, first images of which we're playing out on the left of our screens while Prime Minister Modi walks across there in looking at the view across the bridge. It's going to be a spectacular view as well across the largest river of the country, across the Brahmaputra. It is 9.15 kilometers long. It will reduce the travel time also between the two states of Assam and Arunachal Pradesh by at least 4 hours. So all of that convenience, all of those benefits to the people of Assam, and that's the message, of course, that the BJP is wanting also to drive home today, and this given day, which officially marks 3 years completion of Prime Minister Modi's government in the center, in wanting also to send out the message, while Guwahati today is chosen as the first spot where the start of these celebrations would begin. It's a message that the BJP would want to give and has been given right since Prime Minister Modi's campaign starting 2013, that the development in the Northeast is going to be of prime importance when he's in power in the center, and is also to prove that point, to send out the message that he wants to meet with those promises that he'd made during campaign for 2014. On the right of your screens, latest images coming in from Guwahati itself. This, of course, as we said, is going to be a long day in Assam, in laying several other foundation stones there, in marking of the Indian Agriculture Research Institute today. It's also going to be having a new AIMS in Guwahati as well, the foundation stone of which is going to be laid today itself. We are expecting Prime Minister Modi to give a speech in just a short while from now. The significance of this moment in the Dhola Sadiya Bridge, which has been inaugurated. We're going to be getting in several more reactions, but for our viewers here watching in, this is the start of the Modi Festival, an acronym which is interestingly been coined bearing Prime Minister Modi's name, but which the BJP would like to say actually stands for Making of Developed India Festival. Our news editor, Gauri Dwivedi, have been getting us further inputs here. Gauri, let's also touch on, while we wait for Prime Minister Modi to start on his first speech of the day in just a bit, let's also touch on the strategic military importance of this bridge that would come into use as well.
Yes, Prime Minister Modi is expected to speak any time now. But yes, as I mentioned, 100 kilometers away from the China border is Anini, and this bridge will, of course, be touching that point as well. It can withstand the load of a 60-ton tanker, an army tank, again of huge strategic importance. The other important bit is that Arunachal Pradesh, Itanagar, till now did not have an operational airport from an army's point of view, and that gets addressed if this bridge, of course, can withstand the load of army tanks up to 60 tons. So that, of course, is huge strategic importance. It's also important to note the last 2 years that China has really been beefing its infra presence. There was, of course, the dam that was very, very publicly talked about, something that India raised at international forums as well. But nevertheless, China beefed up its infra presence around the Arunachal Pradesh area. And now, of course, you have this huge bridge that is being built by India, which is 100 kilometers away from the Chinese border. In the region of Anini.
And as an eventuality, this would of course also give a boost to domestic tourism as well, given the fact the biggest challenge that a traveller really faces in the northeast is road connectivity of good roads, and this would eventually of course further also work towards a boost in domestic tourism.
Tourism is just one part of it, yes, of course, it's quite logical when road connectivity or any connectivity improves, then there will, of course, be easier movement of people. That is bound to happen. But, till now, crossing the Brahmaputra could only be done from Assam to Arunachal Pradesh, could only be done by a ferry. And it was obviously not possible during flood time. So that meant that, there was very little movement as far as during the time of flood that could really happen only through, only by a ferry. That gets eliminated. That was a huge limitation that Assam to Arunachal Pradesh movement can actually take place, not just for tourism purposes, but also for the entire connectivity of the area. That gets a huge boost. And that, of course, connectivity is the first signs for any development to take place.
We're going to be slipping into a breather, a very tiny breather. Back in just a bit, Prime Minister Modi is about to start speaking there in marking those celebrations. Don't go away. Inauguration of the bridge today being a significant date because it also marks the completion of 3 years of the central government in power. There are going to be massive celebrations, as we've been saying, in the coming few days, right up to the 15th of June. There are going to be several other such inaugurations and significant laying of foundation stones. Also much symbolism that comes into play in Prime Minister Modi choosing the start of the celebrations in Guwahati with the inauguration of the longest bridge of the country, which is going to improve connectivity there in Assam to other northeastern states as well, and of much help to the army close to the China border. In just a short while from now, we're expecting Prime Minister Modi to speak on this given moment, and it will also officially mark the start of the celebrations with several other senior BJP leaders, union ministers who would be traveling across 900 cities in the country to mark these celebrations. And more importantly, what the BJP says is to inform people on all the good work that the government and the centre has done so far in the past 3 years and is intending to in the coming 2 years. On the left of your screens, earlier shots that we got in earlier in the day in the inauguration of this bridge, Prime Minister Modi dedicating this bridge to the country, saying that this is going to mark development, fast-paced progress in the northeast sector of the country, one that he has promised all along, right from the start of his campaign in 2013, even when he was campaigning there in Assam, saying that northeast has fallen back under the Congress rule and it needs to be given a boost with development projects to bring it at par with the rest of the country. And today's inauguration is one such example of wanting to keep that promise. On the right of your screens, as those celebrations are being marked in just a short while from now, we're going to be having Prime Minister Modi speak on this given occasion, and we're going to be getting in more expert voices here on the significance of this inauguration, on all that has been listed through the day today in Assam itself. There's also going to be a foundation stone laying ceremony for the first aims in Guwahati as well. Let's get in more inputs here. We have with us our news editor Gauri Dwivedi, who will be taking us through more details in just a bit. But this being an important moment and also much symbolism that comes into play as well. This has been the inauguration of the country's longest bridge. It connects Dhola on the Brahmaputra, the country's largest river, south bank to Sadia, which is located in the north of the state there. It is 9.15 kilometers long. The bridge is longer, in fact, than the Bandra-Worli Sea Link, which is 5.6 kilometers. So this is at least 4 kilometers longer here, standing at 9.15 kilometers long across the width of the Brahmaputra, connecting two landmasses in the state, and more importantly for the army, which is being seen as the most significant beneficiary. Apart from domestic convenience here, the army being the most significant beneficiary, the convoys of which will now save about 3 to 4 hours on their journey from Assam to their posts at the edge of China there, to their posts which lie in Kitubu, Walong and Chagalam there, which are on the Arunachal China border. We've been getting in several political reactions here on this as well while we play out those images, the first images of which we got of the inauguration of this Dhola Sadiya Bridge. It is along the Brahmaputra, along the tributaries of the Brahmaputra, Lohit and Dibang as well, and it will present the neighborhood with a landmark as far as connectivity goes. We've been getting in several other reactions. We're going to be connecting with more political voices here on this, on what this means. But Prime Minister Modi has tweeted about this yesterday as well, saying that he's happy. This is a gift to the nation. This is a bridge for the country, and it also significantly comes at a time when the government in the center is marking 3 years of completion of power in the center. Prime Minister Modi had earlier said there that this is one of the most important infrastructure projects in our nation, and it has estimated to have cost around 10,000 crore rupees. It is 9.15 kilometers in length, and it is also in fact to cut down travel time between Assam and Arunachal Pradesh to just 1 hour. Earlier, the travel time between the two states was 6 hours, and it is entirely slashed to just 1 hour with the construction of this bridge. Our news editor Gauri Dwivedi has been getting us further inputs here on the significance of this bridge, of course, given with the facts of it that we just played out, but more importantly, what this means, Gauri, politically speaking now, on what this means for the BJP on this given day today as the government, as the BJP marks 3 years of power in the center.
It marks 3 years of power at the center. It also marks it also just completed 1 year of power being in Assam. So there is a lot of significance to these celebrations that have really been going on, beginning with, of course, the inauguration of the bridge today. It's also important to note that under Prime Minister Modi's leadership, BJP has actually managed to form governments in Northeast. That was unheard of earlier. It has managed to do that. So there has been a huge Northeast push that has happened under Prime Minister Modi and BJP President Amit Shah's leadership, which is why, of course, the significance cannot be missed of Prime Minister choosing the 3rd anniversary to be in and inaugurating projects in Guwahati. It's also important to note that BJP President Amit Shah has set his sights on Tripura, which goes to polls, again a very important region, last of the left bastions really. Remains to be seen whether, of course, BJP will actually form the government or not. But again, it's very significant from a positioning point of view as well for the government, for the Prime Minister.
Absolutely. And as we play out those images, Prime Minister Modi is going to be having a special word today in the inauguration of this bridge. There's a lot more that's lined up here as well. Gauri, while the Congress would choose to say that it has been the work of the Congress in all these years, with the BJP just about inaugurating it today, but the BJP would like to start several other new projects in laying foundation stones of several other projects today.
Yes, that is correct. There will also be a foundation stone being laid for an agricultural institute, foundation stone being laid for an AIMS in Guwahati, of huge significance. You know, that just tells you the kind of importance that BJP is really putting on development schemes in Northeast and particularly Assam. Assam itself, of course, has been a huge achievement for the BJP, for the Prime Minister Modi. In fact, it was under 15 years of Tarun Gogoi's tenure that BJP, of course, demolished the Congress and came to power last year, which is why, of course, it's looking to announce those development schemes today, using the platform today in Guwahati to reach out to entire northeastern state, that under the BJP, under Prime Minister Modi's tenure, there will be development, there will be Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas.
And let's look at those other projects there today as well. It's going to be the first AIMS in Guwahati, which of course will take a few years to complete. It's just going to be the foundation stone laying today. Similar, of course, for the Indian Agriculture Research Institute later this afternoon as well. Prime Minister Modi already having tweeted about all of this in what he plans to do in Guwahati today, in saying, to quote his exact words from his official Twitter handle, saying both projects will quicken development of Assam and the Northeast. So it's interestingly, of course, starting with the promise of development there, Gauri, in the Northeast, in making that start from the state of Assam, because Assam is where, of course, where they are in power as well.
Sir, my sense is that last year, Prime Minister Modi announced a 15,000 crore rupee development project, and this bridge was actually part of that development project. My sense is that today again Prime Minister Modi will use this platform to probably announce not just development schemes and laying the foundation stone of the schemes that have already been announced, but maybe another development package could also be announced for the entire region. Again, part of the overall promise that under his tenure there will be development in every part of the country.
And we have the Union Minister for Road and Infrastructure speaking on that. Let's take a listen.
उद्योग पर्यटन इसका विकास होकर रोजगार मिलता है और इसलिए आज मैं सबसे पहले धन्यवाद दूंगा हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी को कि जिन्होंने हम सबको यह आदेश दिया कि देश में विकास की प्राथमिकता अगर देनी है तो नॉर्थ ईस्ट के और आसाम के विकास के लिए देने चाहिए, ये आदेश उन्होंने हमको दिया था। और मुझे आज खुशी हो रही है कि 40,000 करोड़ से ज्यादा काम हमने शुरू कर दिए। ब्रह्मपुत्रा पर आज इस ब्रिज का निर्माण पूरा हुआ है। आने वाले 3 महीने में और एक ब्रिज के करीब 900 करोड़ की लागत से बनने वाला काम, उसका भी हम शुभारंभ करने जा रहे हैं। मुझे विश्वास है कि इसके बाद इसी साल में और 3 ब्रिजेस के कार्य का हम निश्चित रूप से शुभारंभ करेंगे। जहां तक प्रधानमंत्री जी के मार्गदर्शन में हमने नॉर्थ ईस्ट में रोड ब्रिजेस बनाने के लिए NHIDCL इस संस्था की स्थापना की है। ये केवल इसके लिए की है कि यहां के रोड, यहां के ब्रिजेस, इसका काम गति से हो। और मुझे आज बताते हुए खुशी हो रही है कि हमने 4000 किलोमीटर के कार्यों का शुभारंभ लगभग किया है और जिसमें कम से कम 40 से 50 हजार करोड़ की लागत लगने वाली है। जो भी बात आदरणीय मुख्यमंत्री जी हमारे पास मांग करते हैं, उन सभी बातों को पूरा करने का हमने हर बार कोशिश की है। मैं आज विशेष रूप से इस संबंध में जो सहयोग मुझे आसाम की सरकार ने दिया है, उसके लिए उनके प्रति भी मैं उनका बहुत बहुत आभार मानता हूं। यहां से जो NH229 है, उसमें 2407 करोड़ की लागत से नेचीपुर से होडगंज, जिसकी लंबाई 311 किलोमीटर है, 2 लेन के रोड के बनाने का भी काम हमने अरुणाचल में शुरू कर दिया है। इसके साथ साथ पेटिंग पेगिंग ये भी रोड है, दिबांग नदी पर भी पुल है। आसाम में भी डुबरी तथा मेघालय में फुलबरी के बीच ब्रह्मपुत्र नदी पर 4044 करोड़ की लागत से ये 14 किलोमीटर लंबे पुल का निर्माण होने जा रहा है। मैं आज आसाम की जनता को ये विश्वास देना चाहता हूं कि आदरणीय नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में जो मिशन उन्होंने हमको दिया है, उसमें हम आसाम में करीब 1.5 लाख करोड़ के हमारे इनलैंड वाटरवेज और रोड के द्वारा काम करेंगे और आसाम और नॉर्थ ईस्ट का विकास करने के लिए हम कृत संकल्प है। ये विश्वास आप सबको मैं देना चाहता हूं। इस समय मुझे और एक बात आपको बतानी है। 2 दिन पहले ही प्रधानमंत्री जी ने कैबिनेट में विशेष रूप से जो रोड फंड आता था डीजल और पेट्रोल पर सेस लगाकर, जो राज्यों को सीआरएफ के फंड में मिलता था और हमको राष्ट्रीय महामार्ग में मिलता था, हमने अनुरोध किया था कि इसमें से कुछ पैसा हमको इनलैंड वाटरवेज के लिए रोड के फंड से लगे तो कम करके आप खर्चा करने की अनुमति दो। प्रधानमंत्री जी ने जलमार्ग के लिए हमको अनुमति दी। 2000 करोड़ रुपए हमको हर साल उपलब्ध होंगे और अब हम कम से कम 10,000 करोड़ रुपए के जलमार्ग के काम ले सकते हैं। प्रधानमंत्री जी के मार्गदर्शन में हमने गंगा में काम शुरू कर दिया है। अब प्रधानमंत्री वाराणसी, ये प्रधानमंत्री जी का बहुत ही हृदय स्थान है जहां से वो सांसद है। अब वाराणसी से निकलकर 1680 किलोमीटर हम हल्दिया तक आएंगे और हल्दिया से बंगाल के खाड़ी में बांग्लादेश से ब्रह्मपुत्रा जो है वहां से आकर आसाम और नॉर्थ ईस्ट तक पानी पर हम आ सकेंगे। इतने कार्यों का हमने शुभारंभ कर दिया है और मुझे इस बात की खुशी है कि करीब 40 रिवर पोर्ट गंगा पर बन रहे हैं, 3 मल्टी मॉडल हब बन रहे हैं, 5 जगह रो सर्विसेज है, 6 जगह फेरी सर्विसेज है और फराक्का का जो गेट है उसका भी काम शुरू हो गया है। पर इस समय आसाम में आप सबको कहते हुए मुझे खुशी हो रही है कि ब्रह्मपुत्र ये हमारे देश की नदी नहीं है, एक सागर जैसा ये हमारे आज जब हमने ऊपर से देखा तो उसकी अनुभूति आई। पर इस ब्रह्मपुत्रा का सबसे बड़ा उपयोग अगर कोई है तो जलमार्ग का विकास करना, और इसलिए करीब 15 जगह पर हम फ्लोटिंग टर्मिनल्स बना रहे हैं। हरसिंगमारी, धुबरी, जोगीगोपा, पांडु, तेजपुर, सिलघाट, विश्वनाथ घाट, निमाटी, संजन, बागबिल, डिब्रूगढ़, ओकलांड, ओरिमाघाट, यहां पर हम फ्लोटिंग टर्मिनल्स बना रहे हैं। और बीच में जब मैं आया था तब माननीय मंत्री जी ने और मुख्यमंत्री जी ने मांग की थी करीब 60 रिवर पोर्ट के लिए, और मैंने उनको कहा कि ये प्रस्ताव भेजिए, हम पूरी तरह से जलमार्गों को विकसित करने के लिए उसको मंजूर करेंगे। ये भी मैंने उनको विश्वास दिलाया था। जहां रो सर्विस बन रही है डुबरी टू हसिंगमारी।
And very quickly switching focus to other breaking inputs, this of